Now, towards the end of the 60s, with the E-Type selling itself, Sir William Lyons took the decision to concentrate production on just one car. That was to be the XJ6, which you see here in 3 of its many guises. Now, arguably, that's the first car you think of when it comes to Jaguar, so a successful decision somewhere along the line by someone, which takes us nicely on to our next classic car. Based on the chassis of the XJ6, it is, of course, the 70s star, the XJS. Now, you see, for me, the Jaguar XJS is the fur coat and no knickers of cars. I've got this image, right or wrong, of the cheesy actor Oliver Tobias in the cheesy film The Stud in 1976, getting out of one. And needless to say, the lady I've got in mind is Joan Collins. I've no idea if that image is true, but that's the problem with the XJS. You see, the late 70s and 80s were seen as a bit naff, but at the time, if you were a part of it, if you were there, then they were ever so sexy. But now any nostalgia is loaded with irony and is seen as kitsch. The truth is, the Jaguar XJS was both ridiculous and fantastic in equal measure. It had a wonderful V12 5.3 litre engine, and yet it couldn't do more than 20 miles per gallon, this in an age of a supposed oil crisis. And for a car the size of a small village, if you were much more than 6 foot, it was a bit of a struggle. See what I mean? The first car was launched in 1975, but it wasn't until 1983 that this particular cat went topless. And even then, not completely. American market rules dictated that it had to have roof bars. But then eventually in 1988, it went fully convertible. Now this is undoubtedly the sexiest of all the XJS's, but looks even sexier like this. And incidentally, you've got the best angle of the XJS there, always side on. Now the XJS is, was and will be a truly modern classic, but don't be so easily seduced. There are high running costs. So here's Ian Royal with a buyer's guide to what to look out for.
Despite being a classic car, the XJS suffers from heavy depreciation if it's poorly maintained, so make sure you get a full service history and get it checked out by an independent specialist before you buy. In terms of maintenance, the 12-cylinder models can be more expensive than lesser models. In terms of prices, you can expect to pay anything from as little as £550 for a really bad example, or up to 10 grand for an absolute minter.